Oh, hey! Fancy seeing you here. You stumbled across another Glastonbury live stream. Bronze medal match just about to get underway. TSU in white, taking on Old Spice in generally black. There's a little bit of grey, some navy blue. Just general lack of synergy there, kit-wise. TSU will begin receiving the pool. Oh, I say receiving the pool. We'll begin watching the pool hit the ground. And it looks like a zone to start here from Old Spice. TSU looking pretty calm with that so far. Just doing the sensible, boring thing of swinging it around the back. Now they've got a cutter going. They're trying to split that deep defender. I think that hammer could have gone. And the throw into the middle comes a little bit late and a little bit undercooked. Should have put that one there. There was a little bit of space for it. So Old Spice get a chance to break to begin the game. Getting it towards the far sideline now. Switching the direction of play back into the middle and across towards this sideline. Big purposeful fake. Looking pretty comfortable against this match defense. And there's going to be a pick there, which I think is going to take the disc back. And I'm deciding that actually was not going to be able to get a block there, but we'll get a chance to regain a little bit of defensive position. Finding an outline option, but faking it, getting the force biting on it, opening up space for a swing, and the continuation pass is just too low to be reeled in. It's a bit of a blown opportunity there. And looking to strike deep a little bit quickly. All got a hand on it, but not quite enough to knock it out of the path. Popping it forward. Cutters flooding through. Hits one of them. TSU get the game's first point and take a 1-0 lead here at Glasgow. So TSU ready to pull. Fielding it on the roller, Old Spice. And there's a pick which has left that man suspiciously open. There's a little bit of separation deep. I thought that was going to go. Maybe it should have done, but they just want to work it around the back instead. Disc swung into the centre from this near sideline. Now working it down the middle of the field. All looking very cluttered, so just going to have to play it around the back for now. Gets a little bit of a window. Cutter attacks this side. A little bit of roll curve on it. It's going to get the job done. Clean hold on that point there for this first Old Spice goal of the game. And they'd knot us up at 1 apiece. Ball goes up from Old Spice. A little bit softer. He's going to sit for a little bit. Try and get the defence to close in. More zone from Old Spice. TSU happy to hammer it over the top. And then shoot down this sideline. But he waited for it, and that meant the defender could take that inside line and just run straight through. Doing exactly the right thing, just working it through those poached players. Keeping them just constantly moving, quickly pinballing it around the back. And there are a couple of cutters going to the same space. But rather than drawing defenders in there, they've both got enough separation to make it stick. A couple of good boys walking past our camera there. I think good boy is not fair. There's clearly two of them there, guys. Come on now. Look at him wag that tail. I must say, I've been very impressed by the strong canine presence here. Especially because so many venues now don't seem to allow dogs. More's the pity, frankly. Big floaty pool. And Old Spice chase it down. Little high release over the top. And swinging directly across rather than using the middleman. They're always giving them this free reset, and actually they're giving them that free swing as well. That's when they just about squeeze it down the sideline. And they transition into match defense. Nice gainer up the line. Just feels out of the end zone. Another up line cut goes, and I think he was looking at where that end zone line was. And then it's flooded out of his grasp. Now an up line cut, which they don't like. Instead going with the swing, and immediately continued. Everything's very shallow, but now a deep cut begins to develop. They put it deep early. Oh, just behind the defender. He was so close, but couldn't quite get a fingertip or a mitt in there. Isolated a target and eventually takes the reset. Just going to play it around the back until the end zone offense gets set up. Force is very flat. Still get an up line going. There's another one there. Just trying to clog in that space, and it just rolls through the fingers. It's really difficult to get enough spin to make those really stick in there with those short flicks. That's why you see so many players favour the offhand, backhand, or even a little push pass in that window. TSU scoobering over the top. Zone's just slowing things down here. Maybe knowing that they're losing a bit of height in a lot of these matchups. Just going to try and cause some confusion and chaos in other ways. And that's a big deep shot. And it hung for too long. That deep defender's watching it all the way. Uses those long legs to track all the way across. Knock it out of that far sideline. Very firm swing across. Finding an underneath option. Hammer goes towards the far sideline. Got a big target, but he's in plenty of space as well. Little dinked hammer towards the far side, and that's strong handling work there to reel that one in. And now they continue down the far sideline, trying to blade it over the top. Managing to just use that trajectory to work it past the defender's outstretched hand. And another break for Old Spice to go up 3-1. So someone performing some Tai Chi in the background, trying to get themselves centered. More zone from Old Spice, this seems to be their MO. Trying to squeeze a high raise backhand down the pitch. Doing a very good job of splitting that deep defender, opening up the window to work that throw into space. TSU reducing the deficit, still down 1 at 2-3. Going for some meditative powers there. Oh, look at those. That is some top quality dog work. At least 12 out of 10s for both, I say. So they field it and try and get the disc moving quickly, but they're set very far downfield from where the pool's been caught. At the moment they're just having to work it through the handlers until they can find some downfield options. That one could have gone, but they didn't like it. No, they find it underneath. Going to shoot the big, looking for a big man, and utilising every bit of that height, putting those long limbs to work. Finding a dish off, faking the first one. Tries to squeeze it through. And I think maybe thought about holstering it, but couldn't get those hands to stop quick enough. TSU trying to tie things up now. And they go into a match defense now after starting in that zone. Someone's poaching somewhere. Just about getting that backhand around into space. TSU ties up at 3 apiece. Is that a lowercase I in there? Or is that just a DOS on my screen? Honestly. Who let Predator at the controls? Everyone knows he can't spell. Barely read. It's a strong, solid pull. Now they work it downfield. Low throw. Oh, did he keep it up? Not quite. Was too low to handle. Just about squeeze that. Towed in on the sideline. TSU looking to retake the lead, and they punch it in right at that front cone for a 4-3 lead. I feel like Old Spice had the early momentum. TSU have done well to fight back. Is that 10-11 for the talk out now today? There we go. Talk count 10. For those of you for playing the game at home. Probably reasonably smashed by now, I think. Afternoon, everyone. Hope you're having fun here watching our live coverage of Glastonbury tournament. I know what they're trying to do. I'm not going to play into it. It's tough being so much smarter than they are. They think I can't hear them because I've got headphones on. There's a pick. It's going to bring a little halt to things. Look at those little floppy ears. Really not the most flattering of angles for that dog, but you can't win them all. Take the under. Take the first one on this near sideline. Said go across. There's a couple of receivers there. One of them plucks it away. It's taking a little bit of time for things to develop. Swing goes and the continuation. Find a nice space down the line. I'm doing the right thing there with players poaching downfield, swinging it into the middle of the pitch. Finding those gaps. And they're going to put a big hammer towards the back of the end zone. But defence was all over that one. Going to have a stoppage here, a potential foul on the throw. Now the players talk it out. So the foul's going to be uncontested. Son going for a low release inside flick. And a continuation. Didn't come out early enough and the defence was all over it. And immediately just doinks off the receiver's hands. Going for the deep shot once more. It's too far out in front. Maybe a receiver with a slightly longer wingspan, longer limbs. Eat out the ground a little bit more quickly. Wanted to get the throw out early. And that's a brilliant take. Very athletic grab. Again, just moving quickly and the player pulled out. And now Old Spice trying to get this moving quickly. Trying to squeeze it up line. Not quite sure how that worked. I felt the defender had fantastic position on it. The catch looked awkward, but it did stick in there. Utilising a little bit of give go and milking it into the end zone. Old Spice ties up at 4 apiece. That's not a dog. What's he doing on my screen? I'm not sure I agree with that, lads. I'll tell you what, if anyone can, if the pull hits one of these birds, I think it's an instant win. And Old Spice, as is their wont, start defensively in the zone again. Doing a very good job of working it between the handlers. And now they thread it into the middle of the pitch. And they're quickly working out that it's not working. Transitioning into match, little lead, backhand. Finding the front code, snagging it with the left hand. Would prefer to be a bit more out in front, but the receiver's ready for it. TSU retake the lead at 5-4. The zone, which was very successful early on, seems to have been figured out by TSU now. Already beyond half field on this possession, Old Spice. He didn't quite have the disc in a grip ready to throw, so he holsters it on that occasion. Hammering into space on the far sideline. Dog wants to get involved. Reset goes backwards. Slightly wobbly hammer, but it makes its way to the target. A little gesture indicating where she wants the dump pass to go. The handler duly obliges. Takes an around backhand. Defender with his hips turned the wrong way. Can't flip quickly enough to get the disc. And we're back tied at fives. So after they've worked out that TSU have foxed this zone, they're coming in a match defence. Have this on the sideline. So they got a piece of it on the release, and it goes all the way and gets the wrong edge and goes out of the sideline. So the disc comes in right in front of a camera. And they turf the first pass. It was a golden opportunity to get back in front. Upline from TSU. Hammer goes towards the break side. Helix is a little bit, but not a problem. Right on the doorstep now. See if they can get over the threshold. Reaches for the disc, claws it in. Looks at the end zone. There's an inside window, but it was definitely baited by the defender. Not content just to shut it down. Instead, rather try and tempt it into going and then getting the block. There's a player wide open on this near side. Gets the disc. And then they're running a little bit of give-go. Force eventually gets into position. Doing a good job running these up line cuts, and they find an option in the end zone. And Old Spice put their noses back in front at 6-5. Half an hour gone in this game. To 15, with the time cap at 75 minutes. This feels like the most likely of all the games we've had so far this weekend to maybe reach that time cap. And the 11th shot of the day of the Glastonbury Tour. We'll see if he can pan out into the receiving of the pool here. He's giving it a go. He's giving it... Oh, they faded away from it. Didn't have faith. Oh, look at that little chap. Look at that little tongue. So here's a deep shot. Defender goes for it, doesn't get it, tries to scuba into the back of the end zone, and it somehow comes off. It was pretty ugly, to be honest, but they all count the same regardless of how they look. And now, level once more, 6 apiece. Yeah, the ultimate was alright, but preferred the other replay. Look at that jaunty little face. I'm not sure why Dom seems so obsessed with getting the seagulls. Do they not have them in Australia? Like, we've come from, we live in Brighton. These seagulls are tame. You would not believe the things I've seen seagulls do. It's unbelievable. I've No, thankfully didn't pick that up on the camera. I have seen 2 seagulls tag team a pizza out of someone's hand. What else have I seen? These are pretty strange things. Well covered on the deep shot that time. Feels like they've been close for all of them, but they've somehow got them away. That time defence is ready. And they want to go big the other day. There's a pick in the middle. Defender gets an arm over the top to knock it away. So there was a pick. It did not affect that play at all. So then the turn stands. Everyone stopped, and if everyone stops, and that's a stoppage. Oh my god, there are so many dogs about today. Glastonbury is, put in a hell of an effort this week. Look at those 2 chaps. On the sideline. And there's a foul called. Player runs through to try and catch up. It came through the thrower. So now the throw goes out, a big layout bid. Now just behind the halfway mark. Gaining yards pretty proficiently. Nice little give go there. Popping it back. It's a nice give-go movement, but I want more aggressiveness with it. And now it stagnates a little bit. Throw into the middle's low, but sliding to the knees, gets the backboard behind it. It goes into the bread basket. And with things slowing down a little bit, a hammer to the side, and just slides right through the grasp. Classic case of Butterfingers, that one. Not entirely sure how he dropped that. Don't think he is either. They're kind of taking off deep. Don't like it in a high stall. Going to try and blade it into the middle of the pitch. Tipped on and well backed up. High release backhand is low and just about scooped up. That's a pretty dicey possession, that one for TSU. But credit the backup, credit the hustle. And they go back in front at 7-6. Lightning quick reactions from DNA to avoid that one on the sideline. Dom goes straight in for the shame cam. Here we are. This is the angle we want. Whoa, that came so close. Came so close. So TSU looking to break for half here. A few yards outside the end zone. Popping it behind, swinging it around. Trying to hop it into the end zone. First point in contact is outside the end zone though, still in the pitch. And they're going to try and scuba it, but it scubas to no one. Credit the red zone defense there of Old Spice. Still not entirely sure how that hit. Not only not the camera and not Dom, but also not the commentary desk. High throw, but if you're going to throw it high, that's the receiver to throw it high to. Looking underneath, gaining yards nicely. A little bit of separation and a height mismatch as well. But really well defended, and there's going to be a foul call. Two players locked in discussion here. So they talked about it and decided that they can't come to agreement, so it's going to be contested and sent back. Nice quick resumption to that. Oh, a little bit of Mac-like practice. Caught it with one hand as well. Very good. So on a high stall, choosing to lash it deep. So the foul is uncontested, and when they walk it to the front line of the end zone, they take the timeout call. What's going on with the cameras? It's coming in and out and in and out, and it's shaking it all about. Gonna have the hokey cokey in a second. So Old Spice with a very traditional end zone set here. Going in a vertical stack. 4 receivers lined up dead centre in the back of the end zone. They've got 2 reset handlers out. We'll see what TSU decide to do defensively here. It feels like they're just going to mark it honestly, and that's going to leave space for an inside. And the inside does go, but it goes straight to the defender. So another chance for TSU to break for half. And they want to do it in style with a big deep, but the only question is whether this is going to come down in bounds, and no, it's not. And a gratuitous mac out of the back of the end zone. You can see the intensity there. So maybe people in that tent going to get a little bit of a nasty surprise when that disc comes through. Inside flick goes. Working around the back. Now they've got an underneath option. Quick continuation, and a little bit too quick. Off the hands and back into the tripod. That's taking a little bit of a battering this point. So uncontested foul checked in. Trying to shoot an inside flick, and it's always too high, and it goes out of bounds. And some of the points have been so quick and so clean, and some others have really ground on. This point's got a little bit of agriculture, and it has to be said. Throws low and couldn't be reeled in, especially with the defender bidding in front. Hammer going towards the end zone. Still not in just yet. They've wasted a couple of opportunities before, and a little offhand backhand squeezes its way through that very narrow channel, threads the needle, and TSU will take an 8-6 half-time lead. So to the surprise of literally no one who's been following all day, following this game, we've got the final coming up. Oh my god, it's a derby match! 8 question marks takes on 8 question marks. Who saw that coming? We'll find out who the teams are post haste, and that starts at 4 o'clock local time. Last game of the weekend here at Glastonbury, and then you can all go home and get back on with your lives. So that little, you can obviously see a little bit of heat rising in front of the tour there. So back on Watchdog Dog Watch. More good boys. Have a little scratch. Can we? Is there any way we can get some sort of at the end of the weekend some sort of dog supercut? Because like, let's give the people what they really want to see, and it's videos of those boys. Look at that. Double dog action. Normally have to pay extra for that kind of thing. So Old Spice will receive to be in the second half down a break. The real question is, lads, when are we going to get an OTTV dog? He could come in the van with us on road trips. He could get us the paper in the morning. He could shout at the postman. It'd be great. We get one of those like massive St. Bernards that could carry like a barrel of whiskey with it at all times, Alp style. Well, this one's a little bit floaty. Sticks in the grasp though. Chose not to shoot it. Probably the correct choice to holster, but certainly the less exciting choice. And they're working the break all the way to the far sideline, and it goes too far in the end. They are very photogenic, those pups. There's a little bit of space. More than happy to take the deep shot. Well tracked in. Resetting a little bit behind. And this Enton offense is so stagnant. Eventually they take the poach and work it through. I just that hits right in the chest. You can hear the thud as she caught it. And then he just gets further in front now, 9-6. Now that might be the best one we've had today. That was pretty good. Seems to be quite a crowd developing at the tour, actually. No, that 12 is not accurate. I'm sorry. We've had like we've had like 3 in the last minute. So this defense seems to be a little bit lackadaisical. And they move the disc quickly before people get into position. Maybe some confusion about who's matched up on who, but the end zone throw is off target. And a little bit of the heat of that one. Definitely done with taking something off that. Didn't quite need to be as hard as it was. And a straight run through D. Just got the position and accelerator towards it and knocked out of the sideline. It's a tricky field position now. Looking for options, nothing develops. Just has to shoot a speculative option deep, and play got a hand on it right on the sideline, but she couldn't quite track it in. But they're going to get out immediately on the hand block. They condition the disc towards the far sideline. And again, we've seen it. Sometimes the points are crisp and clinical, and sometimes they just never seem to end. Nice underneath, right at the halfway line. Takes him onto the face mark to get that throw off before the defender even knows it's coming. But the defender read that one well. Now TSU have it tight on the sideline. And the cut was a little bit telegraphed, and it meant the defenders closed in. And drops seem to be coming in for both sides now, again slipping through the fingers. This one's a bit floaty. Good positioning there from the receiver. Tries to squeeze it up the line. Nice take, acrobatic toe in as well. Now the pace of the offense is up a little bit. That high release backhand goes over the target. Defender snaffles it in. Taking advantage of the poach to get this in a central position. Old Spice on the far sideline. Looking to isolate the reset. I thought that throw could have gone. Eventually they take it, it's low, and it slips through the grasp once more. It's maybe a little bit easier earlier in the stall count. Looked it off in favour of something else, then went back to it. Couldn't get it to complete. Old Spice trying to get big on the force. Shooting for a receiver, but again just locking on. Tunnel vision there. And Old Spice were watching it all the way. Great help defense from the backside to come in front and knock it out of the pitch. So swung central. And deep goes over the head of the first defender, but not the second. TSU will have the disc and bring it right to the front of their end zone. See if they can work the full length of the central zone to tack on another break. And TSU looking deep as well. Good sandwiching defense there from Old Spice. First player went up early. Second player was on the backside trying to mop up any possible spillage. And a foul on the mark. Gets the disc back in Old Spice hands. That looks like a very satisfying scratch. So now Old Spice's offense gets some more movement going. They've picked up the pace a little bit. Now they have to slow it down due to these downfield poaches. Right on the sideline, swung central. Points for the hammer. It goes up. Just over the defender. Hits the receiver in the hands. I think maybe the phantom defense there. Player crossing across the field of vision. Just makes you lose sight of it a little bit. And after this absolute marathon of a point, well into double digits now in terms of minutes. Not a surprise to see a timeout happen. So off this TSU timeout, with a disc at the front of their own end zone, set towards this near sideline. Looks like they're going with a vertical set. Slightly diagonal. And it's checked in now, and the curse of the turnout strikes immediately. The instant turnout. Tried to get the second effort catch between his legs. And the timeout works. Just not for TSU, who called the timeout. Old Spice punching in on the first pass after the turnout. And the monster point finally comes to an end. Old Spice closed the gap to 9-7. So maybe that was the play all along. Make the point an absolute marathon grinder, force the other team to take to burn a timeout, so then you can punch it in off the turnout. Smart, galaxy brain thinking there. So the pull goes up for Old Spice. Not a surprise to see both sides rotate pretty much as many players as they can through. Old Spice turn on the Jets to get the run through D. Inside flick goes instantly, and it's laid out and laid into the end zone. Another first pass break for Old Spice. After that last point, it took an absolute age. This one ends pretty much instantaneously. Old Spice just 1 point down now at 9-8. So a nice deep pull. Lands and stays in bounds. So potential Callahan country here for Old Spice. If they can clamp down quickly enough, the stall count rises. Just about get it off. The upline cut goes. And it gets it. And it looks at the deep, and it's going to play towards the far sideline, but that's beautifully weighted. Perfect trajectory. Well reeled in. And the 2 point lead comes back for TSU at 10-8. Old Spice catch the ball at the back of the end zone. Play the 1-2 and then put it deep. Red nice and early. Like every English teacher in the Southwest, happy with that read. Maybe got a little bit of a tip on it, but it's tracked in at the back of the end zone. And again, Old Spice keeping it close. One behind once more at 10-9. The clock gradually ticking out on this game. It's scarcely believable that the same game we had the absolute grind of a 15-plus minute point. Since then, it's been so quick and so clinical. That time it's TSU with a clean hold of their own to go up 11-9. Season players chilling out outside the clubhouse. The Tor Sports and Leisure Centre, which is a fantastic host venue for Glastonbury tournament. Always a pleasure to come down here and be fantastically looked after. There's not really many places I'd rather be on an afternoon like this. Nice yardage gainer there. Irie's backhand goes down to the far sideline. Faking the deep. Coming underneath instead. Got a receiver with space. But the force flattens up, stops it going. Doing the right thing and taking the break opportunity that provides. Nice snag with the left hand. Looking for the reset instead. Go back towards this side. Utilising the poach. Oh, it pops up off the grasp. Maybe had an opportunity to bid at the second attempt to see. Again, another dog in the background with some adorable little socks, it looks like. Trying to get up on that chair. Oh, what athleticism from the canine compadre. So the hooter goes, so we finish the point and add one. So we'll have 12-9 game to 13 or 11-10 game to 12. Pretty ugly looking reset, but it works. Swung centrally. A low, flat flick. It's a little bit off target. And at that pace, it's so tough to reel it in. Getting that up line. Would like to see that deep cut develop a bit earlier. His backhand towards the far sideline. And the low flick goes out of bounds. And again, we get another one of these grinding points. Generally, when we've had a couple of turnovers, they just beget more and more. Nice reset there. Instant continuation. And another. Resets the feet on the sideline. Stops and makes the catch. Tries to get the low release out. And the right hand snags it in. So we're going to be 12-9 in a game to 13 to take the bronze medal here at Glastonbury tournament. So 12-9 here. Game to 13. So TSU need just the one more goal for the victory. So Old Spice trying to extend this game. Comfortable so far. Just about sneaking that past. Dishing it off. A bit of a laser. Nice defensive snag. Gets the disc back for TSU. They want to end it all in style. There's a bit available. Just a touch too far. Ed's being Easton's and driving his car right by the camera. Just about snagged in on this sideline. Dished back. And they find a centering pass. Blading it again. Oh, it goes behind. Player takes off deep. If it stays in bounds, he's got to track it down. There's no one backing him up, even in the same postcode. Eventually they get the reset off. Look a little bit tired. As a player wide open at the front of the end zone. Eventually he gets the disc. And TSU will take home the bronze medal here at Glastonbury tournament with a 13-9 win over Old Spice. Final score in this game. Don't go anywhere. The Glastonbury tournament final follows in 10